Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kedar Mahapatra. Today I came before you to speak about degree of comparison. Friends, adjectives change form in a sentence. So we got the positive degree, comparative degree and superlative degree. So there are 3 degrees of comparison. Positive degree of comparison. For example, Rama's mangoes are sweet. In this sentence, it is merely said that Rama's mangoes has got the quality of sweetness. So this is called the positive degree of comparison. The second one is a comparative degree, which is, take for example, Rama's mangoes are sweeter than Hari's. So Rama has also got mangoes, Hari has also got mangoes, but Rama's mangoes are sweeter than Hari's mangoes. So Rama's mangoes are sweeter than Hari's mangoes. In this, the adjective sweeter is comparative degree because it compares between 2 mangoes, applying the parameter of sweetness. So friends, take the third example. Rama's mangoes are the sweetest of all. It is called the superlative degree of comparison because it takes Rama's mangoes and it identifies it as the one of the sweetest mangoes of all. So we got 3 degrees of comparison. One is positive, another is comparative, and the third one is superlative. So friends, we saw that the adjectives change form. All positive, comparative and superlative degrees of comparison, the words are the adjective parts of speech. So then let us take the few more examples in which we will know that the spelling, when most of the words, when it is made from positive to comparative, ER is used, and when it is made from superlative, from positive, EST is used. So ER and ST are the 2 things to be seen. For example, sweet, we have sweet, sweeter, sweetest. SWEET, sweet. SWEETER is sweeter. SWEETEST is sweetest. So we saw that we added the letter ER at the end of the word sweet in case of comparative, and we added the word ST at the end of the word. So sweet, sweeter, sweetest. So let us talk the example of friends now is called small. SMALL, small. SMALLER, smaller. SMALLEST, smallest. So ER and EST we added at the end and make it comparative to the positive. We make it the Hari is a small boy. Then we make it comparative. Hari is the smaller than most of the boys in the class. Then you can, so Hari is one of the smallest boys in the class. So the meaning is same. So it comes as changes. Take for example tall. TALL, tall. Make it comparative, TALLER, taller. Make it superlative, tallest, TALLEST. Burj Khalifa is the tallest building in Dubai. So here it is superlative because it tells no other building in Dubai is as tall as Burj Khalifa. That becomes positive. No other building in Dubai is so tall as Burj Khalifa. It is the positive degree of comparison. Burj Khalifa is the tallest tower in Dubai. It is the superlative degree of comparison. Then Burj Khalifa is taller than any other building in Dubai. Is the comparative degree of comparison. So friends, we got 3 degrees: positive, comparative and superlative, and all are used with the same word we saw. Now take for example kind, KIND, kind. Make it comparative, put the word ER, kinder. Make it superlative, put the word EST, kindest. Bill Gates is one of the kindest billionaire. Because you know that Bill Gates has given $52 billion to charity for a lot of causes, starting from AIDS and eradication of diseases and all. So Bill Gates is one of the kindest billionaire. This is the superlative because it is used the word est. Make it comparative by using er. Bill Gates is kinder than most of the billionaires of the world. So make it positive. No other billionaire is so kind as Bill Gates. Kind, kinder, kindest. Now make it bold, bolder, boldest. B-O-L-D, bold. B-O-L-D-E-R, bolder. B-O-L-D-E-S-T, boldest. You know, God, Major Kalia is one of the boldest warriors in Kargil war. So Major Kalia is one of the boldest warriors in Kargil war. EST came, so it becomes superlative. Make it positive. There are few warriors who are so brave as Major Kalia. So it becomes bold, bolder, boldest. Then Major Kalia is bolder than most of the majors in the Kargil war. So the same word, you know already that Major Kalia flew into the enemy territory during Kargil war, and he was unfortunately targeted and he became a martyr, but his story is written forever in golden letters in the history of mankind, encouraging young men to go ahead beyond the risky lines and taking the life in its hand and perform the acts for our country beyond the norms that has been said by our authority. So friends, now called, we saw tall, taller, tallest, bold, bolder, boldest, kind, kinder, kindest. And let us take another word, young. There are few batsmen who made debut in test career so young as Sachin Tendulkar. It is young is there, so it is positive. There are few batsmen who made debut in test cricket so young as Sachin Tendulkar. Make it comparative by putting ER. Sachin Tendulkar was younger than most other batsmen who made debut in test career. So friends, when you put ER, it is not only we simply put ER, we also change the sentences according to the grammatical rules. So this is called the degree of comparison and also changing of the sentences according to the sentence. Sachin Tendulkar is one of the youngest cricketers to make a debut in test cricket. So where youngest came, it becomes superlative. Younger came, it becomes comparative. And young came, it becomes comparative. Lord Rama was the greatest human being of India. You can say, no other human being in India was as great as Lord Rama. Then Lord Ram was greater than any other Indian. So, great, young, kind, bold, tall, small, sweet. These are the words, and most of the words like that, friend, where ER and EST is put and it becomes positive to superlative, and it keeps on changing. This construction of the sentence is changing, transformed from one degree to another degree according to the degree of comparison, and degree of comparison, it is the adjectives. Now there are exceptions. I always say that English grammar has become little more difficult due to the exceptions that are there. If a word ends with E, then only R and ST is used, not ER and EST. Like brave, B-R-A-V-E, brave. When it is made comparative, it becomes B-R-A-V-E-R, braver. When it becomes made to the positive superlative, it becomes B-R-A-V-E-S-T, bravest. So, Lord Ram was the bravest archer of this country. Now, let us take it to the brave. You can take it to the Lord Ram was braver than most of the other princes of India. Then you can, Lord Ram is no other prince in India is as brave as Lord Ram. So coming to the friends, any word which ends with E becomes only R and ST is white. WSIT, white. No other monument in the world is as white as Taj Mahal. Positive. Because it merely states that Taj Mahal has got the quality of whiteness. It does not say how much white. It merely states that Taj Mahal has got the quality of whiteness, so that it is called positive. Positive degree of comparison does not compare with any other state. Now take for example, Taj Mahal is whiter than most of the other monuments in the world. Then it's called Taj Mahal is whiter than any other monument in the world. So here Taj Mahal is compared with any other monument, so it becomes degree of comparison is WSITR, white. Taj Mahal is the whitest monument in the world. It tells that Taj Mahal is whitest monument. It is more than any other monument in the world. So it is called Taj Mahal is the whitest monument in the world. Taj Mahal is whiter than any other monument in the world. No other monument in the world is as white as Taj Mahal. Friends, if you will closely observe these three sentences, the meaning is same, almost. But the degree of comparison is different. Now you can simply ask why we are using so many matter when we need to. It is the grammar, because we are doing it for the sake of not only our knowledge, but for competitive exams, for tests and all these things. And also the degree of comparison, it depends upon its use in a sentence. When you used to put more emphasis by telling that the EST is used superlative, it tells that no other monument in the world is as, you can call you can say that this rice is the finest quality I have ever seen. You take then you call this rice is finer than any other rice I have ever seen. You say, no other rice is as fine as this rice I have ever seen. So, you can tell the basmati rice is the finest quality in the world. Basmati rice is finer than any other rice I have ever seen. No other rice I have ever seen that is as fine as basmati. So, friends, same with the fine, white, then all these are the humble. And called this person is the humblest man I have ever known. So this person is the humblest man I have ever known. This person is humbler than any other man I have ever known. Comparative. No other man is as humble as this person. So, positive, comparative, superlative. It is simple. It depends upon little bit of your the calculations and also the uses in sentences and practices. So, friends, all the words, all the adjectives which ends with the word E are coming. The ablest Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi, is the ablest Prime Minister of India. It means that no other Prime Minister in India is abler than Sri Narendra Modi. And Sri Narendra Modi is abler than most other Prime Ministers of India. Able, abler, ablest, positive, comparative, superlative. So friend, the Solomon is the wisest king of Middle East. Superlative, because EST is used, wise. No other king in the Middle East is as wise as Solomon. Positive, only wise is used. Solomon is wiser than most other kings in the Middle East. Comparative. So, wise, white, fine, able, humble, brave. These words ended with the letter E, so it was followed by only R and ST when it was made positive. Then what? Take the word that wanted with the word Y. Any word of adjective having Y is transformed by Y is taken and I put, then ER and EST is put. Called happy, HAPPY, happy. Today I am the happiest man in the world. HAPPIEST. Today I am the happiest man in the world. Today no man is happier than me in the world. Comparative, HAPPIER. Today no man is happier than me in the world. Then called today no man is as happy as me in the world. Positive. Today I am happier than any other man in the world. Comparative. Today I am the happiest man in the world. Superlative. Heavy. The Kung Fu fighter was the heaviest person I have ever met. The Kung Fu fighter was the heaviest man I have ever met. This sumo fighter is heavier than any other fighters I have ever met. Comparative. HAVEY, heavy, becomes HEAVIER. This sumo fighter is heavier than any other fighters I have ever met. Then no other fighter is as heavy as this sumo fighter. So heavy, heavier, heaviest, positive, comparative, and healthy. 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 No other person in this country is as healthy as this doctor. That is positive. This doctor is healthier than any other person in this country. HEALTHIER, healthier. It becomes comparative. This doctor is the healthiest person in this country. Superlative. HEALTHY becomes HEALTHIER in comparative. HEALTHIEST in superlative. Ratan Tata was the wealthiest Indian. Superlative. Ratan Tata was the wealthiest Indian. It becomes in comparative. No other Indian is as wealthy as Ratan Tata. Positive. Ratan Tata is wealthier than any other businessman. It becomes the comparative. WEALTHY, wealthy in positive, becomes WEALTHIER in comparative. WEALTHIEST in the superlative. Any word which ends with Y, the Y is replaced with I, followed by ER and EST. Then friends, any word which ends with FUL, full, LESS, less, ED, and these words are always used with more and most. There IR, ER, EST, ST, this principle is not beautiful. No other scenery is as beautiful as this one. This scenery is more beautiful than any other scenery I have ever seen. This is the most beautiful scenery. When it becomes a word, an adjective which ends with FUL, it is when it is made comparative degree or superlative degree, the word more and most important. The most important meeting of the committee is going on. The most important meeting of the committee going on becomes superlative. There is no meeting of the committee going on which is as important as this one. This is becoming positive. then this meeting is more important than any other meeting. It becomes comparative. So it is becoming, friends, the shameful act of the criminal. Let's take for example, this is the most shameful act of the criminal. There is no other act which is more shameful than this one, comparative. Then you call no other act is as shameful as this one. It's becoming the positive. So, where these words are the most delightful to my ear. Superlative, because most delightful. Then no other words are as delightful as this to my ear. Positive. These words are more delightful than any other words to my ear. Comparative. Shameful, beautiful, delightful, gleeful, all these words which ended with FUL, they are all, when made comparative and superlative, they are used by used more or more than less. Purposeless. The most purposeless meeting of the committee is going on today. It is a wastage of time, money and people. No other meeting of the committee is as purposeless as this is today. This is positive. This meeting is more purposeless than any other meeting ever had. That is called comparative. When it is made comparative, the word more is used, and when it is made superlative, the word most is used, and when it is made positive, only that single word is used. Now, for example, when there are friends who become ED, I am the most surprised person by hearing this sad news. By hearing this sad news, I become the most surprised person. No other person is more surprised than me after listening to this sad news. That this sad news made me surprised. So, friends, this is surprised. This is the word. It is becoming ed. It is ended. So ed it ends. So it becomes more and it becomes most. The word less ends. So it becomes more and most. The word ful it ends. So it becomes more and most. Now, friends, there is another category of words are there where neither a more most is used, nor EREST is used, nor Y is replaced, and nor only IR and ST. They are called, the totally different words are there, called good, better, best. Take an example. No news is good news. Good, better, best. This news is better than any other news. Thank you. You said to me the best news of the day. So, good, better, best. Also, well, WLL, well, also when it is made comparative and positive, it becomes better and best. Not only good, better, best, but also well, better, best. Well done, friend. This is no act of you is better than this act. This is the best performance ever shown by Saina Nehwal in international badminton. So, well, better, best. Now, bad, worse, very bad, we said it's called. No action of this man is worse than of today. His performance was worse today. He called worst. WRST, worst. This is the worst performance of the player I have ever seen so far. So, bad, worst, WRST, worst, WRST. Samely, ILL, ill, also become worse and worst. Ill, worse, worse. Then evil, called evil genius, the Frankenstein, the evil genius. You know, friends, there are a person who has invented potassium cyanide. He went and he convinced 900 people in the world by showing that this is potassium cyanide. If you put it in your tongue, within 30 seconds, you will die. Are you ready? 900 people in the world, the scientist convinced to use potassium cyanide and end their life. And guess who was the 900 first person? The scientist himself who invented potassium cyanide. It is a big story. With the success people, if you say that if the scientist convinces 900 people to end their life by ending their life using potassium cyanide, then can't you find few men to become successful? They are told to the salespeople who needs motivation in their life, like the insurance agents and all kinds of salespeople who make phone calls from call centers. So sometimes you see that we take the phone call from the call center guy and we become irritated, and sometimes you say, how dare you call like this? Don't you have courtesy? I was driving the car, you called. If you ever called second time, I like that. We came on threatening to that. We forget that poor guy's mindset is what going on. He said, no. They asked, do you want any insurance? I will bag the phone. No, get lost. They say that if the Jim Jones, what the scientists were, if Jim Jones can convince 900 people to end their life by taking potassium cyanide, can't you get 9 phone calls in a day? That's all you need. They have got this structure pattern that is called 1 out of 10, friends. In the insurance, the positive, they say that if you make 10 phone calls, you will get 1 positive reply. So the rest of the 9, they don't care. They just focus on one thing, 10 calls they want to make. So the Jim Jones was the scientist who invented potassium cyanide, and to test the quality of the potassium cyanide, he went on asking people privately that, gentlemen, do you want to die? They said, this is how... Take this is potassium cyanide I invented. Put it on your tongue, then you will die in 30 seconds. Believe me, he organized 900 people, and the 901 people was he himself. So, friends, in this manner, when it is called comparative and so the next word is called late. L-A-T, late. Late, in the comparative, it becomes late, later, latest. L-A-T, late, becomes he came late. It becomes later, L-A-T-E-R, later. He came later than I expected. Okay, let us discuss about this later on. I will see to this report later on. I will catch you later on. Then latest, what is the latest news from China? Then you call, what is the latest rate of death due to COVID-19? And what is the latest news of Maharashtra, which is the worst sufferer due to coronavirus? So latest is the word which is the superlative of late, later, latest. Then friends, in the comparative, this is a little important, that L-A-T-E-R, later, also becomes L-A-T-T-E-R, later. The latter half of the book is more interesting. They call it letter. The latter chapters of the book takes into a thrilling experience. The latter person who arrived was more useful. So friends, these are the words which are the L-A-T, late. When it is made comparative, it becomes L-A-T-T-E-R, later, as well as it becomes L-A-T-T-E-R, later. The same manner, old, older, oldest. O-L-D, old, when it is made in comparative, it not only made O-L-D-E-R, older, but also made E-L-D-E-R, elder. So, according to Chaim, Ram was the eldest of 4 brothers. E-L-D-E-S-T. It become Ram is the oldest son of King Dasarath. So friends, it changes. The meaning may appear to the same, but there are little difference between them. E-L-D-E-R, elder, O-L-D-E-R, older. He is older of 5 children. Right? He is the eldest brother. So, older, elder. Then it becomes oldest and eldest. In the superlative, O-L-D-E-S-T, oldest. E-L-D-E-S-T, eldest. Lord Ram is the eldest brother among all 4 brothers. Lord Ram is the oldest son of King Dasharatha. So, elder, he is older to me, comparative. He is my elder brother. So, E-L-D-E-R, elder, O-L-D-E-R, elder, E-L-D-E-S-T, eldest, E-L-D-E-S-T, eldest, O-L-D-E-S-T, all come from the same positive O-L-D, old. L-A-T, let, becomes L-A-T-E-R letter, as well as L-A-T-T-E-R letter. So friends, same word is coming far. He went too far so that I could not see him. Then it becomes further, as well as further. F-A-R-T-H-E-R. The car, the blue car is parked further to the white car. He went little further toward the east side. This person cannot be found at the farthest side. So far, further, farthest. F-A-R, far. F-A-R-T-H-E-R, further. F-A-R-T-H-E-S-T, farthest. The same far in the comparative also become further. F-U-R-T-H. No further explanations. Get lost. F-U-R-T-H. No further justifications. I will explain about this in my further meetings. F-U-R-T-H-E-R, further. F-A-R-T-H-E-R, further. F-U-R-T-H-E-S-T. In the furthest speech, he gave the conclusion that there is a black hole existing in this opera. In the furthest statement, the Stephen Hawking showed that the earth was created by Big Bang and not by God as believed. So, friends, this is the F-A-R, far, becomes F-A-R-T-H-E-R, further, F-A-R-T-H-E-S-T, further. Same F-O-R, F-A-R, far, becomes F-U-R-T-H-E-R, further, and F-U-R-T-H-E-S-T, further. The same manner, friend, then called up, U-P, up. The up train is arriving. So here it is simply, it is adjective. Upper. I occupied the upper berth in the train. Now, I don't know when this again the train will go and I will love to travel to my hometown sitting on the train. My God, this coronavirus has it has stopped all this train, even if it is go, whether the safety and security ensued or not. That kind of friends sitting in the train, playing cards, drinking tea, the tea man coming all that time, believe ever return to the face of the earth. My God, take away corona, make the earth again the nice, smiling, happy, ever charming place one more time, God. I don't know when and where and how and who. And so friends, the same word, up becomes upper and it becomes uppermost. The uppermost place, the uppermost sphere of the earth has no oxygen. The uppermost sphere of the earth has no oxygen. Then the uppermost space is being seen by the satellites. So the uppermost also become upmost. The uppermost, U-P-P-R-M-O-S-T, upmost. Uppermost, also upmost. The upmost position in the organization is occupied by a person known for his integrity. You call that Chandrasekhar occupies the upmost position in the Tata Sons. So upmost and uppermost in the same way, inner and innermost and innermost. So we call the inside of the story. Then we call inner, the inner verse and all inner things called. In his inner mind, he appears to be a chaste and truth-speaking, truth-loving person. In his inner mind, he appears to be listen to your inner voice. The Kung Fu Panda says, it says that the blockbuster cartoon movie Kung Fu Panda, I request all of you to go through that movie Kung Fu Panda 1 and 2. Kung Fu Panda 2 is better than Kung Fu Panda 1. And in Kung Fu Panda itself, there it comes, the tortoise comes, the wise tortoise and comes, it will listen to your inner voice. So called get your inner peace, the inner peace of the mind. So every, the Kung Fu and Judo and those warriors, they have to dwell upon the inner peace. Then in the innermost mind, I realized that this person is a truthful person. Inmost person of the temple is occupied by God's flow. So friends, inmost and innermost are superlatives of the word in, but comparative is inner. Up, upper, upmost and uppermost. In, inner, inmost and innermost. So there are two superlatives for the same positive, and there are one comparative for the same positive, and we saw sometimes two comparatives like later and latter. Then coming out, outer and utmost. out, out becomes, he was out in 10 minutes, so it will out the outer sphere of the ocean has deep. So it calls out, outer, outer. Then in the superlative, it becomes utmost. I pay my utmost respect to my professor. Convey my utmost regards to my professor. It is called the respect. Utmost and also uttermost. Uttermost. Utmost and uttermost are superlatives of the same positive adjective out, and comparative is out. So friends, these are the things you have to remember, that good, bad, good, better, best, well, better, best, then ill, worse, worse, evil, worse, worse, bad, worse, worse, old, older, oldest, old, elder, elder, late, later, latest, up, upper, uppermost, in, inner, innermost, out, outer, utmost and uttermost. So friends, now coming, see, take for example certain words, how they becomes like that. Say excellent. Excellent, it becomes more excellent and most excellent. Now Tendulkar's double century, his most excellent performance in one-day cricket. Tendulkar made double century in one-day cricket. I think most of the people have seen that. Tendulkar's double century in one-day cricket is more excellent than any other batsman performance. Then you call Tendulkar's double century is excellent. So excellent becomes more gloomy. Gloomy becomes, because it is why, they're why taken gloomier, gloomier, and gloomiest is called the gloomiest day of the mankind has seen. The United States has seen 1 lakh deaths due to COVID-19. It is the gloomiest day in the history of United States of America. This is called the gloomy, and it's called no other day gloomier than today, as Maharashtra has touched 50,000 infections in coronavirus. And say, I feel gloomy all around, the people suffering, all around the people are losing their near and dear, all around there is sad, I feel gloomy. So, but friends, I want to tell you that now the next part of the words, the next construction, there if a word has got one syllable and also a single consonant, then it is comparative and degree having different rules. SAD is sad. When it become made comparative, the word, the consonant D is making double, then ER. SAD becomes SADDER, SADDEST in superlative. No other person is sadder than Sri Narendra Modi after losing his best friend Sri Arun Jaitley. SADDER. Sri Narendra Modi is the saddest person after losing his best friend Sri Arun Jaitley. Superlative. No other person today was seen as sad as Narendra Modi after losing his best friend Sri Arun Jaitley. SAD sad, single syllable, short consonant becomes double that consonant. THIN thin, THINNER thinner, N becomes double. THINNER. Ishant Sharma is the thinnest bowler of Indian squad. So no other bowler in Indian squad is thinner than Ishant Sharma. Then no other batsman in Indian squad is as thin as Ishant Sharma. It is positive. Ishant Sharma is thinner than any other batsman in Indian squad is comparative. Then Ishant Sharma is the thinnest batsman in Indian squad. It is positive, but the spelling THIN become NNERNNEST. Then apples of Simla are red. This is called RED red. Now RED red become REDDER. Apples of Simla are redder than the apples of any other area. Apples of Simla are redder than any other apples of India. Then it becomes the Simla apples are the reddest. The Simla apples are the reddest. The specific man. So here red, sad, thin, fattest person. This sumo fighter was the fattest man ever seen. FAT becomes FATTEST in superlative. FATTER in comparative. Then only F. This sumo fighter is fat. This sumo fighter is fatter than any other fighter I have ever seen. This sumo fighter is the fattest warrior I have ever seen. Fat becomes fatter, fattest. Thin becomes thinner, thinnest. Red becomes redder, reddest. Sad becomes sadder, sadder. But the last letter is repeated, followed by ER and EST, because in your exams you will get 4 choices. SAD sad and it becomes superlative. SADEST, SADDEST, then you have to take that a single syllable and with a short vowel and a last is consonant is becoming separate. So friends, now let us make some exercises on this one happening. So for example, let us take the word like the stupid. And this is the stupidity word. Now you have to fill up the test. I am doing it with a simple exercise. Let us do exercise. Stupid. Here, he is dash. Then all other boys in the class. You have to fill up with the dash. Here the word is stupid. You have to change the degree of the word stupid and fill up the degree. He is dash than all other boys in the class. Then he is more stupid than all other boys in the class. So it is coming, another word is coming, foolish. He is the dash boy in the class. Foolish is the word. The question is that you have to change the degree suitably and place in that dash. It is called, he is the dash boy in the class. The clue is foolish. He is the most foolish boy in the class. Superlative. How to know? The clue is there, the the is there. So whenever the comes, it becomes the superlative. So it is coming. Take for example, attractive. Say, he is the best girl in the class because she is the most attractive girl in the class. Then takes for example, severe. There was a death cyclone. There was a death cyclone. You put there was a severe cyclone. Here more severe and most severe you cannot put. There was a most severe. This is the death statement. Here it is coming exact. This is the most exact statement. It is called pleasure. You know? Pleasure. This is less pleasure than anybody else. Because this is more pleasure to me than anybody else. So the words coming, then it is coming. This is less than all other news. So the word is apparent. This is less than all other news. This is more apparent than another news. How you know? We found the then we got there. So we put then word was used when we compare two things there. Then we called that, we knew that we would put, when the comes, you remember the superlative, and when a or n comes, then it is coming positive. So it is coming by that taking that clue, you will come dark. This is the days hour for the world. Due to coronavirus, this is the days hour for the world. And here clue is dark. This is the darkest hour for the world. So this is called, this is gloomier. So in this manner, this word is there, then the dash is there, and clue is there. From that you have to transform and make that as well. Now let us take, friends, for example, let us take some more words and say how it is this. Take for example, Mahabaleshwar is cooler than Mumbai. This is what? This is comparative. Mahabaleshwar is cooler than Mumbai. Make it positive. How you will make positive? Then Mumbai is not as cool as Mahabaleshwar. So this is the comparative and positive. There is no superlative in this sentence. Why? Because only two comparisons came, Mumbai and Mahabaleshwar. There is no superlative. Superlative is coming when one adjective is compared with all the adjectives of the world. But here there are question comes only two. Solomon is not wiser than he is. Solomon is not wiser than he is. Wiser is there, so it is comparative. Make it positive. He is as wise as Solomon. So, Solomon is not wiser than he is. It is comparative because ER is there. Make it positive. He is as wise as Solomon. Uti is cooler than Mysore. Comparative this is because ER is there. Make it positive. Mysore is not as cool as Uti. So, friends, this is a Shakuntalam is the best Sanskrit drama of ancient India. Shakuntalam is the best Sanskrit drama of ancient India. Positive. Make it positive. There is no other drama in the ancient India which is as great as Shakuntalam. Make it comparative. Shakuntalam is greater than any other Sanskrit drama of ancient India. Then another type of friendship comes friends. This is where you have to listen to this carefully. This sentence is coming that some other poets are at least as great as Tennyson. take in the sentence into the kind of, some other poets are at least as great as Tennyson. Some other poets are at least as great as Tennyson. This is positive. How you know? Because only great is used. Make it comparative. Tennyson is not greater than some other poets. Some poets are at least as great as Tennyson in positive becomes Tennyson is not greater than some other poets in comparative, and in superlative it becomes Tennyson is not one of the greatest poets. Great, greater, greatest. There are some poets who are at least as great as Tennyson is positive. Tennyson is not greater than some of the poets is comparative. Tennyson is not one of the greatest poets is positive. Soybean is at least as nutritious as meat. There are only two comparisons are there. So soybean is at least as nutritious as meat. Since there are only two proper years are there cannot be superlative. So soybean is at least as nutritious as meat. Make it comparative. Meat is not more nutritious than soybean. So, friend, you get it? Mumbai is the biggest city of India. Superlative. Make it positive. No other city in Mumbai is as big as, no other city in India is as big as Mumbai. Make it comparative. Mumbai is bigger than any other city in India. Shakespeare is the greatest dramatist in the world. It is superlative. Make it positive. No other dramatist in the world is as great as Shakespeare. Make it comparative. Shakespeare is greater than any other dramatist in the world. So, friends, then coming to the no other animal is as ferocious as a tiger. This is positive because only ferocious word is there. Now make it more ferocious. Tiger is more ferocious than any other animal. Because tiger is the most ferocious animal. So friend, the ferocious, more ferocious, most ferocious. So it becomes the more and most and superlative and positive. It keeps on changing. Then called Marwadis. This is a different sentence. Marwadis are not less enterprising than any other community. Marwadis are not less enterprising than any other community. Here enterprising is the adjective. There are words are there which are adjective which ends with ing. I have said this also in my earlier lecture. I request you all to go through my previous YouTubes. They are interesting. So you call interesting, surprising, then enterprising. These words, although it ends with the letter ing, they are adjectives because they denote the quality of noun. So Marwadis are not less enterprising than any other community. It's a positive. Make it comparative. Then any other community is not more enterprising than Marwadis. So this is coming to the Sir Rabindranath Tagore is one of the greatest poets of India. Then one of the word uses. Then you can then few poets in India are so great as Sir Rabindranath Tagore. Few, remember the word at least and few. They are the clues which will take you to the some most example. So some, few words. I said some poets are at least as great as Tennyson. So you made it comparative that Tennyson is not greater than some of the poets become comparative, and Tennyson is not one of the greatest poets becomes. So now here you can tell the superlative is Sir Rabindranath Tagore is one of the greatest poets of India. Then the positive becomes few poets in India are as great as Sir Rabindranath Tagore. Then superlative is Sir Rabindranath Tagore is greater than some of the Indian poets. So friend, by using the word some, few and at least, these are the clue words in which you should change it from comparative to positive to superlative. It is like a playing of it is a game like that one. A police friend is worse than a wise enemy. A police friend, we should avoid police friend. You tell him some secret, then he will go and tell me for what. Police friend, I have seen that movie Dhamal. If you see the movie Dhamal, you will see that how the police friend, although they are all doing the one positives, that fellow, that Javed Jafri, he tells he telling the police friend is worse than wise enemy. Make it this is change the transform the center. Okay? A wise enemy is better than a foolish friend. So a dead a live ass is better than a dead lion. Here the word better is there. Change the sentence by telling that a dead lion is not as good as a live ass. So the better become good. I said you good, better, best. So the better become good. Here telling that a foolish friend is not so good as a wise enemy. Here making it to comparative. A wise enemy is better than a foolish friend, because the wise enemy will not come and stab in your back by making you by catching you unnoticed. So friends, so the wise enemy is better than a foolish friend, and this a live ass is better than a dead lion. So friends, there are sentences are there in which all superlative, positive and comparative is possible, but when only two subjects are taken, then that superlative is not possible. We can say that Byron is not a better poet than Keats. It is Keats is no less good than Byron. Byron is not a better poet than Keats in comparative. Make it adjective. That Keats is no less a poet than Byron. So these words are becoming. Sir Surendranath is one of the greatest orators of India. Make it comparative. Sir Surendranath is one of the greatest orators of India. He is not the greatest orator of India. He is one of the greatest orators of India. When one came, you are making it positive. Start with few. Few orators in India are as great as Sir Surendranath. Then use the word some in comparative. Sir Surendranath is better than some orators of the India. By using that positive, Sir Surendranath is one of the greatest orators of India. Make it positive, say make it comparative. Sir Surendranath is better, is greater than some of the orators of India. Make it positive. Few orators in India are as great as Sir Surendranath. Pula Deshpande is one of the greatest novelists of Maharashtra. Pula Deshpande is greater than some other novelists of Maharashtra in comparative. Few novelists in Maharashtra are as great as Pula Deshpande. So friend, in this word when few comes, there one comes, but if you same word you tell that Shakespeare is the greatest dramatist of the world. Here, one word is not there. Shakespeare is the greatest dramatist in the world is telling. So you will make it comparative. Shakespeare is greater than any other dramatist in the world is comparative. Then positive. No other dramatist in the world is as great as Shakespeare. Please take into account two sentences, because in the question it will come. Shakespeare is the greatest dramatist in the world. Shakespeare is one of the greatest dramatists in the world. When Shakespeare is the greatest dramatist in the world, in comparative it will become Shakespeare is greater than any other dramatist in the world, and in positive it will become no other dramatist in the world is as great as Shakespeare. But when we say Shakespeare is one of the greatest dramatists in the world, in comparative it will become Shakespeare is greater than some of the dramatists of the world. Then in positive it become few dramatists in the world are as great as Shakespeare. So here it is becoming Marwadis are not less enterprising than any other community. It will become in here any other community is not more enterprising than Marwadi. Then Sir Surendranath is one of the greatest orators of India. It will become Sir Surendranath is better than some of the orators in India. Then it will become few orators in India are as great as Sir Surendranath. So friends, these are the sentences in which the transformation is made by changing this one. Now, there are some words in which the transformation is made. There is no negative, no comparative, no positive. They are already always perfect. When you say perfect, it is always superlative. There is no need to make it more perfect and most perfect. Square. Its square is absolutely perfect. It cannot be more. It is more square. It cannot. Round. The round is already perfect. You cannot make it more rounder. Only square, perfect, round, eternal. These are the words are there, which are in which the adjectives are always used. Always it is used in a superlative. So it is not used in the Greek. Then friends, this placement of these adjectives, it is important. I will tell you a few things about the placement of the adjectives. So the placement of the adjectives are there. Adjectives are always placed before noun. This is a beautiful scene. This is a perfect example. He is a glorious example of mankind. So mankind is noun, glorious is adjective. In most of the cases, adjective is placed before noun. But in the poetic sense, adjective is also placed after noun. The nobleman's great son is coming. That is in this way. In some cases, poetic, the adjective is placed after noun. For example, viceroy elect. Viceroy is noun, elect is the adjective, but viceroy comes after. Then called letter patent. Letter patent. Patent is adjective, letter is noun, but patent came after letter. Body politic. Politic is adjective, body is noun, but politic came after noun. So it becomes body politic. Letter patent. Then time immemorial. Immemorial is adjective, time is noun, but it comes after time immemorial. Then you call God Almighty. Almighty is adjective, God is an abstract noun, but Almighty came after here. So from all, God Almighty, I remember the movie Bruce Almighty. You should see, this is the movie, the Bruce Almighty. It is a very positive attitude movie. It shows how in spite of having power, human beings should be humble, and the Bruce Almighty is a very nice movie of this. Then friends, so these are the words, these are the uses in which the adjective comes after noun, but in most of the cases the adjective comes before noun. But when you come to your time immemorial, then God Almighty, the letter patent, body politic, in this word it comes. Then friends, there is an adjective is coming that is called a little, the little, and little. These are the words are there, and a few, the few are what. This is the words which is used in a. If the meaning is negative, then it becomes only little. He showed little sympathy towards poor. He has no concern, he has little concern for the downtrodden. He has little strength left. There is little hope for his recovery. There is little chance for his betterment. When the motive is negative, it is used only little, but when the motive is positive, it becomes a little. With a little modification, this project can be made better. With a little adjustment, this TV can started. With a little caution, his work can be excellent. With a little preparation, he can be made. So when only little comes, it is negative. But when all little comes, then comes the little. With the little knowledge of friends, he survived in Paris. So the comes when it is you are having something. It is not everything, but it is all you are having. With the little knowledge of machinery, he started a garage to live. With the little hope of surviving, he jumped into the water. So friends, all little, the little, and also the same word become few of few. He is the chosen few. So it is coming few, fewer, fewest. So it is coming few people in the town are literate. Here negative. When it is negative, only few are there. This town has few libraries. There is no A is there. Then it is coming few friends of me are excellent. Then it is coming. Then it comes A few people were called and given the task. There it is positive. A few men of wisdom conducted the survey. A few skilled person completed the work. A few cautious steps made the venture easy and useful. A few wise men were always better than a large number of unnecessary people. Then the wisest few were summoned to come. The chosen few were called. So a few, the few, a little. Then friends, there is another adjective to be taken. There is a difference between every and each. So it rained every day during rainy season. For the 10 days I was there, it rained for each day. So each and every, the meaning is the same, but every is a more powerful word than each. Each means it is two or more, but every means it is more than two or more. Each is when the is countable, every is where it is uncountable. Every seat is taken. This is where uncountable. But sir, the chairs, each chair is occupied by 5 students. Every seat is taken and each chair is occupied by 5 students. Then he comes to meet me every Sunday. Each one of you, please stand up. So the game of every and each. Every, when it is uncountable, it is larger, it is beyond 2 or more. Every is each is countable. From each class, I want 5 students. From each of you, I want best performance. Where there are countable are there, the each and every is used. Then friends, the all little, few little is used. Friends, I will tell you with a story about this one. I will end with a story. You know, there is a one day, what happened, there is in the BA was there, the one God man was there. Then that God man was doing prayer. At the time he saw one scorpion was drowning in the water. The scorpion was drowning in the water. Then what happened? He took the scorpion, the scorpion stung him. Then he left it on the water, then he followed. Scorpion again fall into the water. He again lifted the scorpion in order to rescue me. He rescued the scorpion into the land, but the scorpion again with its tail, it stung the God man. Then again it stung. then his disciple asked, Sir, why are you rescuing? He does not understand that you are saving his life. He is stinging you with its poisonous tail every time you. Then the God-man said, look, disciple, if the scorpion is not changing his habit of stinging, why should I change my habit of rescuing? Why should I change my habit of helping when the scorpion is not changing the habit of stinging? So my friends, it is my request to you all is that you please make this grammar as a habit of doing the things. So this is the degree of comparison we discussed today. With this, all the best, my dear friend. I have come earlier. I will come later on. Hope you enjoy my grammar things. Thank you.